Good afternoon and welcome to Nglcc special webinar Wednesday presentation of Black, Queer, and Successful, a discussion on pride, race, and business opportunity. We'll be getting started in approximately 5 minutes. Good afternoon, and thank you so much for joining us at NGLCC's Webinar Wednesday for a special presentation of Black, Queer, and Successful. We'll be getting started in approximately 2 minutes. Thank you. Good afternoon and welcome to everyone. Thank you so much for joining us today for a special Nglcc webinar Wednesday entitled Black, Queer, and Successful, a discussion on pride, race, and business opportunity, brought to you by the National LGBT Chamber of Commerce. We appreciate you spending your time today with us for this important conversation with many of our outstanding Nglcc stakeholders. A few housekeeping reminders that we are recording this presentation and streaming now live on Facebook. If you'd like to share that link with your stakeholders, please go to facebook.com/NGLCC, as well as join the conversation in our chat box and on Twitter using @NGLCC and #LGBTBiz. So with that out of the way, it's my pleasure to turn it over to Nglcc co-founder and president Justin Nelson and senior vice president Sabrina Kent.
Excellent. Thank you so much, Jonathan, for that introduction. Welcome back, everybody, to another Nglcc Webinar Wednesdays program. We love spending our 2 to 3 p.m. Eastern with y'all every Wednesday here on Zoom and now on Facebook Live. Thank you all for joining us for an incredibly important conversation today on the intersection of being Black, LGBT, and a business owner. This is very timely in Pride Month, not just because it's the month of Pride, but also because we are in the middle of a national dialogue around all Black lives mattering. And so with that, it's my pleasure to turn it to our co-founder and president at Nglcc, Justin Nelson. Hey, Justin.
Hey, Sabrina, thank you so much. And thanks to all of you for joining us today for this, what I think will be an exciting conversation. It is absolutely an opportunity for us to learn, to hear, and to celebrate the accomplishments of our Black queer entrepreneurs. You know, it is Pride Month and we have a lot to be thankful for. We have the Supreme Court case, we have one another, we have opportunity, but we can't be pro-LGBT and not be anti-racism. And just to echo Sabrina's point, this is just one way. And is it enough? No. Is it the first? No. Is it the last? No. But it is an opportunity for us to further understand and dialogue about these issues. You'll be seeing a number of programs coming up over the coming weeks and months, because this isn't just an issue that's important to us now because it's in the news, but it is our commitment to be a part of this dialogue and a part of long-term change, not just today, but in the future, long after the cameras shut down and the lights go off. We're going to be here and we're going to be working as allies for the Black community. It is our opportunity to be allies. We know we would not be here without the incredible work of allies along the way. So I just want to say thank you to our panelists for being here. And also thank you to all of you for dialing in. We have a rich diversity of stakeholders within Nglcc, from our corporate partners to our certified suppliers and to our affiliate leaders. Each one of you matters to Nglcc and you matter to me personally. So I just want to say that here, as we look back 51 years later, after Black and brown trans women really started our LGBT equality, we still have much work to do. So thank you very much for tuning in today, for being a part of our stakeholder group and a part of the change that we hope to affect together. It is now my pleasure to turn the program over to two of my amazing colleagues, both working so hard on behalf of LGBT entrepreneurs within our network. It is my pleasure to turn things over to Alicia Green and Sean Franklin, our moderators for today's panel. Alicia, Sean?
You're on mute, Sean.
Here I am. I was just saying thank you, Justin, and good afternoon to everyone here today. And we look forward to having some great discussion for the next hour. My name is Sean Franklin. I am the manager of the Stakeholder Engagement Center for the Nglcc. And I'm here with my peer, Alicia Green. Alicia, if you want to speak and talk about yourself.
Oh, hi. Hello, everyone. My name is Alicia Green, and I'm the Supplier Diversity Manager at Nglcc. And we are really excited about kicking off this discussion, this important discussion that we are, going to talk to two of our certified LGBT business owners, or 3 of them. So we're just really excited about this opportunity and hope that everyone enjoys as we kick off this discussion.
Great. Well, I will go ahead and start the introduction of our panel. I will talk about Braxton Fleming, who's the founder and CEO of Stealth Bros and Company. He is a licensed practical nurse and CEO and founder of Stealth Bros Company, a luxury doc kit supply company that provides travel and at-home personal storage for hormone replacement therapy and other medical necessities. Braxton launched the company in 2017 from his bedroom to raise money for his own top surgery and to create a way to become an active member of the transgender community. Today, Stealth Bros & Co. continues to grow and serve the transgender and allied communities, as well as IVF and diabetic communities, among others. Through Braxton's leadership, Stealth Bros developed a surgery fund for members of the LGBTQ community in need of financial support, and his company is a proud certified LGBT business enterprise of the Nglcc. By sharing his own life experiences, Braxton hopes to uplift other trans people in their journeys and to fill a gap in representation of trans people of color.
Nice. So thank you, Sean. And I would like to introduce our second set of speakers, India Dickerson and Nastasha Matos of Women Builders Group, LLC. WBG is a full-service janitorial and construction cleaning company dedicated to meeting the needs of their customers. In 2013, WBG was established by India, who is the CEO, after working in construction for over 10 years. India's vast knowledge of the construction cleaning industry has allowed her to use this expertise to meet clients' various project goals. Nastasha was named Operations Director in 2014. Nastasha's legal experience has allowed her to become a leader in operations effectiveness, process improvements, and best practice implementation. As a small business, WBG believes the growth and success of their company comes from building lasting relationships with clients and employees. So I would like to welcome India and Nastasha. Thank you so much for joining us. And I'm going to go on and kick off this discussion with you two. So reading the background of the business, you both have a very interesting journey in launching Women's Builders Group. Can you tell us a bit about your business and how it became to be?
Thank you for that introduction, Alicia. Women Builders Group, again, like you read, was started in 2013 by India Dickerson. She was working in the construction industry with her uncle for 10 plus years, helping him with various like home improvement projects and cleaning projects. And that is when, after being in the industry for so long, she realized that there was a need for this type of, construction cleaning needs. So then she started Women Builders Group and was like, hey, I understand what clients want. I understand what they need. And, that is something that I would like to give to them. You want to add? No? So then when she was starting the company in 2013, in 2014, when she met me, she told me about her idea and how she's like, there's a need for women in this industry. There's a need for Black women. I understand clients, I understand their needs, and I think this is something I would be good at. So then we went through the process of starting the company, and then, late in mid 2014, like April 2014, we acquired our first customer. So that was really exciting. And from there, again, we've just been listening to our clients and their needs, and we've been off to the races since then.
With your background in the legal industry, and congratulations, I believe you just received your JD?
Received the JD last year and passed the bar in the bar 2020.
Oh, okay, congratulations on passing the bar.
Oh, yeah. No, but sorry, say that again, your question again?
Well, no, just how have you implemented your background?
Oh my goodness. Having the legal background, for a company, it goes from beginning to end. when India met me in 2014, I was actually doing my paralegal studies at Georgetown, and she didn't understand fully how to like file the documents to become a corporation, well, to become LLC and everything that it takes to do that. And ironically, I happened to be taking a corporations class, and I was like, actually, I can use this as my example. And I did. One of the projects was to, you know, gather the documents that was necessary in the state and essentially prepare them as if you would file them with the state to become a company. And we did all that with WBG. That was actually late in 2013. And that's, I mean, from there, from everything from employees, HR responsibilities, they're very legalese. We use them every day. I mean, everything. I write the contracts when we're going to bid. You obviously reading the contracts in detail and making sure that you're encompassing the scope of what the client is looking for. Every day to day. I use it often. So, you know, now that I'm officially barred and everything like that, it just only helps us move further. So now that I can actually, you know, instead of hiring an attorney per se, I can jump in there and, you know, be a more, I guess, a major factor when it comes to just making those type of legal decisions and like understanding the law and how like we can use it to help us.
Nice, thank you. So Sean?
Great, thank you. That's great, and congratulations on passing the bar. That's I know a huge accomplishment. So kudos to you on that. You're welcome. My next question, or the question is, this is to you, Braxton. I understand that you just got off of, as a practical nurse, you just got off a long shift, and we really thank you for, you know, taking your time to be with us today. You launched your company to help raise money for your top surgery. How did Stealth Bros & Co. evolve from your personal need to what it is today?
Well, it has evolved over the past 3 years. Initially, like you said, I started for the transgender community because I personally needed somewhere to hold my hormone replacement therapy medication. And that's how it started. But as time went on, I started to realize that other communities needed it as well. And a lot of people started reaching out to me saying, hey, this would be great for my dad. He's a diabetic. He could really use something really nice to place all his things. So it just kind of started to roll that way. And then other people would reach out to me and say, hey, look, you know, I'm an IVF mother. I have all these injections and medications I have to take, and this doc kit is the perfect place to put all my needs, you know, and they're just reaching out to me, thanking me that I've created something that is simple, yet, you know, luxury to the eye. And it just overall makes it an easier experience when you have to inject yourself weekly or bi-weekly with something that's organized, neat, and discreet, pretty much.
Wow. So
that's awesome.
As a Black trans man, what has been your experience in navigating the business world, like particularly in the healthcare adjacent industry?
Actually, I just been using it to my advantage. That's how I try to take everything in my life. I just try to take anything that could possibly be a negative and move it into a positive. And, you know, being a trans Black man, obviously, when I walk into the room of a lot of events, it's a lot of white corporate men, and you know, I already have all the eyes on me, which could be looked at in a negative connotation, but to me, I look at it as you know, yes, you're looking at me, which means now I have your attention and you're wondering why I'm in this space, and that gives me the opportunity to share who I am. And I'm a pretty nice guy, so you know, a lot of people tend to just gravitate towards me, and that's how I move through the business space. I just try to use it to my advantage and, you know, accept that eyes are on me, but turn it into a positive way where I can get noticed for my business.
Nice. So what tips would you give someone, another trans man starting their entrepreneurial journey? What advice would you give them as
I would tell them to just, I would tell them to take their time, think about what exactly they're trying to do, I always try to fill the void rather than a want. So if they're on an entrepreneurial journey, I would just tell them to find a void, find something that they need every day that's going to be beneficial to our community. So not only are you making something that's great, but it's also benefiting people in their everyday lives.
Thank you, Braxton. I love that. And while we're on here, just to remind everyone, there is a chat box. If you have any questions while we're speaking with our panel, please feel free to put those in the chat box and we'll get those questions asked as well. So by all means, take advantage of the opportunity. To India and Nastasia, being that you are two women of color running a business in the facility space, what have you had to do to navigate your identities in your line of business?
So a lot of times people look at us, especially when we were starting off as a new business, and then being Black women, as if we weren't knowledgeable in certain cleaning techniques or using certain machines,
just to even run a business.
or even to just run a business. And it really, meeting one client, it really impressed upon me that we really need to go and research and do some of the work that we say we can do, so that we can get not just an understanding by reading the instruction manual, some people watch YouTube videos, what have you, is that we want a hands-on understanding of how everything works, so that we would be more knowledgeable for the clients that we want to pursue. So especially when I say machines, there are certain machines that, a lot of the men that we met, they were under the impression that we didn't know how to use it. We've never used it before. And then that was our learning curve when we actually we rented one and we used it for our strip and wax processes. Like, I was behind the machine, handling it, stripping it around. And that right there gave me so much firsthand knowledge, so that when someone would come up to me as if I didn't know what I was talking about, I could say, no, I fully understand what it takes to get this done, because I maybe not tell them that I personally have done it, but I know, because my knowledge is personal to me. So I understand on a deeper level than just reading the manual or watching somebody else do it.
Yeah, and it wasn't until another one, Dr. B, who gave us the opportunity.
Yeah, and it actually was, exactly, as India was saying, and it really wasn't until another Black woman, her name is Dr. B, she, we gave her a presentation and everything like that, and she really gave us the opportunity to grow. And honestly, coming from another Black woman to give us Black women an opportunity, that opportunity honestly has made us work harder.
Nice. So we have a question, a couple of questions that came up. I believe, what stereotype have faced of the Black LGBTQI, and also as, I guess, members of the chamber. So you talked about how people will ask, can you maneuver a machine and things of that sort. So what, stereotypes did they have whenever you're going in to bid for a project?
Actually, one that you would always think of. I guess the biggest one, even though unfortunately it's true, I don't say unfortunately, is that they always thought that India and I were together, and that because, which we are, but that they thought that we were just this little rinky-dink, there's this rinky-dink couple just trying to do something.
We even had clients,
and it was as if we didn't take what we did seriously. So combating that stereotype was difficult. Because we have this one guy who works for us, and Which one? Oh, you want to tell them about that one? Well, we had an unfortunate, and also too, this is another unfortunate situation. Where this gay guy in one of these facilities that we work with took it upon himself to try to create drama that wasn't there. So we work hand over fist to show our professional side, that this is not just, two gals coming together, they're in a relationship and now they want to start this company and they don't know what they're talking about. So we work really hard to become professional. And that's why I say the knowledge and some of the firsthand experience behind machines and everything like that really gave us the ability to show that professional side and strengthen that, because that is what we do all the time now.
And we at NGLCC, we are so happy, with you being a certified LGBTVE, to have you as suppliers to the NGLCC office. So we want to thank you for your services. That's one thing about NGLCC. We certify all of our businesses, but we also use them. We use our certified LGBTVE. So we want to thank you for the great job.
We appreciate you guys.
We appreciate you guys. You guys are one of our
Nastasha,
longest clients, actually. You're up there.
No, we're in the office, like, and we left out the door. She was like, "Oh my God, everyone is so nice." I'm like, "Yeah, that's what we are. Like, we're nice people." So thank you guys.
Of course.
So Natasha, and on that last question, do you feel like you get that mostly because you're women or because you're Black women?
What do you mean? The stereotype of being
on the last? Yeah, when the last question that came up, about being stereotyped.
I think it's a lot. I think it's just, I think it's both. And then, then you throw in the combination of everyone just automatically, as soon as they see India and me, and they're like, "Oh, those girls are together." And then we're two Black women. It's that whirlwind, almost a perfect storm, if you will, just puts us in the category of unknowledgeable, and it's like automatically stamped. And again, we work very hard. I know I work hand over fist, and India knows. So she's like, "You're being too legalese on them right now." And I'm like, "No, they have to understand that this, we are professional before anything." So.
Oh, nice. I believe we do have another question. This one goes to Braxton. So how has your collaborating experience been with other LGBTVs?
Honestly, it's been great. That's really what has pushed me to become certified this year. It's just because everybody that I've come in contact with through NGLCC has just literally been a blessing on my life. So I'm very, very happy with NGLCC. I really call it a family to people that ask me about it, because that's honestly how I felt when I was just welcome at the mixer events. I felt like I was becoming a part of a family that around people that were successful. Not only that, but that's where I want to place my life. So I just felt inclined, and I just felt like warmth from everybody. So yes, I love working with everybody. Everyone I've worked with is excellent and really has helped me push my business, every single one of them. So I'm thankful.
Good. So I see there's, we're getting questions in. People, please keep asking questions. We are really appreciating this and glad that you are being attentive to this discussion. But one of the questions is, how has the impact of COVID-19 affected your business? So if India or Nastasha can please elaborate on that. I see that you have different services, and on your website now, you do have a COVID-19 disinfectant services. So will you please elaborate on that?
Yeah, I think like many businesses, we all had to take this this hard left turn of updating our website to show that we do these services, these certain type of services, which also before telling clients and customers and people out there that we can perform these services, we had to go back and do some more research so that we can provide them with this COVID-19 service and what that actually means. There's a lot of techniques out there. And I think like deciding on which one we wanted to go, which one we thought in our professional opinion was the best, and kind of combining it with the current services that we already offer helped us become a better company. Again, we were more innovative, more on top of things so that we can be a leader.
Little, but not as much as a normal business, because we do cleaning. So.
Yeah, because cleaning was labeled one of the essential services. Mm-hmm. We have medical buildings that we service, and they were still up and running. So thankfully for us, we were able to continue servicing them. And that, because they had to change and pivot to have different standards because of how they were treating people, we also had to meet that standard, their new standards as well. So that pushed us to be a better company. And then unfortunately, some of the, we do some retail stores and they closed. So it was sad to see that.
Some of our clients actually, I guess now take our advice and like up their service days because they know cleaning isn't, but it wasn't at first to them. And now they understand the importance of cleaning.
Yeah.
Thank you. That for the information. And I apologize. I seem to be having a little technical difficulty. So my system is freezing. So if I'm off key, I apologize in advance. Just to, I guess, go another direction and what's all going on right now in the country, in the world. How has and this goes to any one of you, how has the current national dialogue and movement around Black Lives Matter impacted you personally?
Don't everybody speak at one time.
Actually, it's crazy because, again, being on the legal side, but when I was in law school last year or the year before, 2 years ago, I was actually writing a journal article on police brutality. And I had told the journal that this was going to be like the next big thing on the plate because it hadn't in many years gained such attraction as in the last few years when people started really a lot like Washington Post, Washington Post, and a lot of other news articles were starting to do their own tally on like how many people are actually dying by the hands of police, because this is actually something that they haven't been tallying at all because it wasn't a mandatory thing for police officers to do. They were incentivized to do these things, but sometimes incentives aren't always an incentive. So I didn't get published, but as being the Black person, being like Black power and a predominantly white school, but I found it so that personally, when it came up again, like now how the way we're seeing it, a few people reached out to me and was like, "Oh wow, how did you know that?" type of deal. And I'm just like, well, if you see the trend, when I really started digging into it and really realizing like how we haven't been as a whole, haven't been paying attention to this for so long, that it was ultimately only going to lead here. So that's how it personally affected me. And it was nice to see some of the people who were on that journal article say, maybe this was something we should have paid more attention to, or, so yeah.
Yeah, I believe that, with us going through the COVID-19, that is keeping a lot of people in tune to what's really happening. Things happen for a reason, and who's to say that if we weren't going through this, that we would be doing the same march for a month and then, go back to your own normal lives. But this has been a time for us to really pay attention to what's going on and to really put an end to it. I mean, we have to. So Braxton.
You can only speak about statistics for so long until they get born.
Right.
So now that I think everyone is like, okay, it's real. It's more than just some statistical number on a piece of paper. So.
Yeah, and that's very informative, you know, because they didn't have to report it, you know, so the statistics are not accurate, you know, so.
Yeah.
Thank you for your foreshadowing.
Braxton, would you like to elaborate?
Yeah, so I mean, as far as it has affected me personally, I feel like I now have to speak up more in a way that I haven't before. You know, I actually come from a very privileged family, so I haven't had to deal with a lot of struggles that everyday Black men have to go through if they live in the city of Chicago or, you know, any of those areas. And it's put me in a place now where I've stepped back and it's just like, you know, enough is enough. Just like, you know, we're all saying here is that this has just gotten to a point where it's just injustice, even against, I see a question here, you know, particularly brown and indigenous folk as well. You know, just POC in general are just targeted and, you know, through police brutality. And it's just something that I think we need reform on. I'm happy to see all the progress that has been going on and the people and allies that have been stepping up and really, you know, even educating me on, you know, political issues and who to vote for and what things to do to move forward. But I think it's just a time, like you guys said, you know, everything happens for a reason. The COVID came, slowed everybody down. It you know, it was unfortunate. George Floyd's life was taken, but it really made an impact on everybody in the entire world. So I'm just, you know, I'm just glad that I'm here to be able to help make a difference within our community as a, you know, Black trans man and just, you know, continue moving forward with the movement.
Yeah. To follow up, like, so outside of the support you get from NGLCC as Black trans man, where else have you been supported as a business owner?
Literally, there's so many other trans-owned companies that I work with that we've done like collaborations with. And that's honestly how I've been really supported is just through social media. I've gained such a great platform where I've really reached a lot of different trans men, and now we have a base community. And that's pretty much how I reach people is just through my social media. And you know, it's literally, it's everybody. So it's kind of hard to pinpoint where they're coming from, but it's literally all over the world. I have people in Spain that I talk to. I have people in California that I speak to. So I just been getting love literally internationally. It's an amazing thing. Yeah, international love. So yeah, it just comes from all over the place, and just being able to be, you know, here with NGLCC has been able to like grasp that and, you know, help organize and move my business forward.
Nice.
Thank you. So how can, and anybody can answer this or both can answer, or even you, Alicia, how can non-Black people be the best possible allies that they can be for us? What would you, if one of your white friends or an ally came up to you and asked, what can I do to support you and be better? What would you tell them?
You gonna go?
Go ahead.
Oh, I would personally tell them, as from a business standpoint, is to just, you know, support Black, you know, trans businesses or support Black businesses in general. And I would also say, like, on a heartfelt note, to just, you know, have an open mind. If you were closed off before, you know, start working with different people of color and, you know, invite them over your house, have dinner, go out, you know, get to know these people, even if you're, you know, that's normally not who you would hang out with or not normally what you would do, but just invite them into your space and, you know, spread the word to your other white friends or non-Black POC friends, you know, let's share space, or let's invite such and such over so that we can all hang out. And, you know, that's where it really starts, is just genuine relationships. So that's what I would definitely do or say.
Great. India and Anastasia.
Sorry. Ours is just more to touch on, like Braxton saying, being friends with people. Oh, Brax, sorry. Friends, I know like a personal story is just that I think some people think that they have to be overly inclusive all the time to say like, I have all of these different types of friends, so I'm cool. Or because we had, well, no, that's why I'm getting to that part. Black friend. I have a Black friend, I have a Puerto Rican friend, I have this friend, because we had one of these friends. That's why I say it was a personal story. And it's just, and I just want to say like, that's not necessary. I just think you just have to understand the polite of just get to know everybody genuinely. You know, it's more just genuinely. It's humanity. I'm friendly to you. I pass you in the hallway. I say hi to you. I say good morning. It takes nothing to say good morning back. And, you know, those little things, it may lead to a great friendship. It may not, but at least we're still, you know, cordial and nice to each other. I think that's what it goes with. Some of these things, I'm just like, would you do this to your mom? Like, would you want somebody doing this to your mom? And I think it goes back to we're all humans. So can we just all be nice to each other?
Can we all just get along?
Yeah, I would never do this to another human being.
Yeah.
All right.
My heart.
Well,
you know.
I'll have to say from a personal aspect for me, probably majority of my closest friends are non-Black. And I've had, you know, I've traveled with, we go out, we have fun. And since all of this has happened, they have come to me and just, they honestly said, I didn't know this was going on. And, you know, and none of those friends I feel have any type of prejudice as far as race in them. And so, you know, they've asked me, what can I do? Just like this question. And so I think learning about the history, what's happened to the Black community as a whole is something to, you know, if you want to read about it, there's plenty of books about it. There's TV shows about it. There's movies about it. There's documentaries about it. To educate yourself on what's happened in the past. And I think that will help the future and help this, where we won't continue to go through this racism for another 400 years. So that's where I am at this point.
All right. No, I agree with Nastasia.
Sorry.
Oh, I thought, okay. Yeah, no, I agree with every one of you, everything that you said. And like, it's just, I was taught, my dad's always like, it doesn't hurt to smile at somebody, you know, just smile. A smile goes a long way. But, you know, whenever it comes to, and people putting in comments, and we'll read those comments, you know, just like you said, just listen and educate yourself. And with Sean saying about how people are like, I just did not know. I am on, I guess, the side of, it frustrates me to hear that. Am I the only one feeling that way? A little bit, you know?
Yeah.
It frustrates me whenever I hear, you know, people say that, but I get it, you know? I guess just living it every day. I don't want to say it becomes a norm, but it's just, you know, it is what it is at the end of the day. But like now, like I said, it's time to get woke, be woke, stay woke. Once this COVID ends, stay woke. Keep educating yourself. things change every single day. There's, you know, something happening every day. And so, again, somebody in the comments says, you don't have to be my friend to be my ally. That is true, you know.
That's true.
And the listen with empathy and care about and learning more. So all of these are good, you know, good comments. And if anybody that is listening right now, please put something in the comments and let us know your thoughts and feelings.
Hey, Lacey, if I can add something real quick. Hi, everybody. I'm George. I'm actually Sean's husband. So we're actually, like he said, we're in the same group of people. But one of the things that one of our friends said to Sean and us is, you know, if we say something that's inappropriate, tell us. You know, you have some responsibility as Black people to educate your white friends or Latino friends or whatever, to say, hey, that was a little bit offensive and this is why. And that opens that dialogue into helping them understand that, you know, even though they may have said it in tongue in cheek, that it is offensive and you shouldn't be saying things like that in jest or whatever. And that's all part of the dialogue that we've been having with our friends. That, you know, it's actually been quite good. But just, you know, like I said, you know, if you have friends that say something, just let them know, because, you know, a lot of times they're doing it for fun and they need to know that it's offensive or it's wrong.
Nice.
Thanks, George. That's my man, y'all.
Well, thank you for that. So we have about 15 more minutes and we're going to end this on a good note. All of this is good, to be honest, and great discussion. So back to your business. If you could go back 5 to 10 years, what would you tell your younger self about the success you have today? And what advice would you give?
It's actually been my idea since I was like 19. So I should have probably been started this.
Yeah.
And don't give up, just follow your dream, like Brax was saying the other day.
Never giving up. Yeah. Should never give up on what you want to do. It takes a long time, but success is there. It's there.
Thank you.
Yeah, I think I would tell myself to just keep pushing forward and just never to give up, and yeah, just to keep pushing forward. I've always was instilled with that since I was younger. So I've always, every year I've grown in some type of way. So just keep moving forward. That's it. Just keep going. Don't stop.
Nice. So do y'all have any last remarks?
I just want to say thank you to everybody who's here, who came on and listened to us today. It was a pleasure being here, and I'm honored to be in front of all of you today having this discussion. And I hope that, you know, we all learned something here and can just move forward with the movement of Black Lives Matter and continue pushing reform for police.
I'm here. Thank you guys for having us and listening to our stories.
No, we would like to thank you all for joining us and being our speakers. You have wonderful stories that everybody can learn from and have learned from today. We have one last question for the panel. How do we start and create more task force LGBTQ initiatives with corporate enterprises to ensure there is adequate representation at the table?
Reach out to me. My email is braxton.stealthbrosco@gmail.com. Definitely just reach out. Just reach out. That's all it takes, just like you do anybody else.
Yep.
Yeah, same. Reach out to us if you want to talk to us, know more about anything that we have to offer. Yeah.
Well, great. Well, that sums up our panel discussion. I would like to thank you all again. I'd like to thank my co-moderator, Sean, for co-moderating with me. This has been great. And thank you, George. And we could turn it back over to Sabrina.
Awesome.
Thank you all.
Thank you. Yes, thank you. Thank you so much. What an important dialogue today. Nastasha, Endia, Brax, I can't thank you enough for being here and to share the time. And I want to make a really important note that Lucerne shared in the chat. You know, it's not on Black folks to be educating white folks and non-Black folks how to do this work. There are so many resources out there, and self-care is number one. Right now particularly. And so I want to encourage y'all, if you haven't, to watch 13th. It's directed by a queer Black filmmaker by the name of Ava DuVernay. She's fantastic. You've probably seen a lot of her other films and haven't realized it. But 13th is free to watch on YouTube. It's also on Netflix, and it's an incredible resource. It's less than 100 minutes for you to fully understand how we got to where we are today as it relates to race and racism, white supremacy, and police brutality in this country. So I strongly encourage you all to keep doing that work, to be better allies. And as Alicia said earlier, to carry this forward, not just in Pride Month, not just during a global crisis, but through the rest of your lives. So again, thank you to our incredible panelists and to our fantastic moderators, Sean Franklin and Alicia Green from Team Nglcc. I want to remind you that we are here every Wednesday from 2 to 3 p.m. for the Nglcc Webinar Wednesday series. You can see more at nglcc.org/webinars. Next week, we've got How to Virtual Product Discovery Strategy. And of course, on Fridays, twice a month, we do our LGBT Sip and Pitch Fridays program. Brax has actually pitched there before. You can see all past footage on the Nglcc YouTube account, but we'll be together this Friday from 3 to 6 p.m. Eastern Time for our LGBT Sip and Pitch Fridays program. So can't wait to see you all at another Nglcc event. Thank you again to our incredible speakers and moderators, and have a great afternoon. Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you.